fellow landlubbers. It's Ron Burgundy, the dashing newsman with a nose for great homes and even better mortgage deals. Welcome to the My Mortgage Hound YouTube live stream, where the excitement is as real as my perfectly coiffed hair. Now I know what you're thinking, Ron. What do you know about real estate? Well, my friends, let me tell you that I'm so good at finding dream homes that they call me the home whisperer. And as for mortgages, let's just say that Cody has more options than a dessert buffet at a squirrel convention. So grab your favorite scotch, sit back in your comfiest leather chair, and get ready for a real estate rodeo like no other. We'll be analyzing listings so incredible, they'll make your grandma's meatloaf taste like an old shoe. And when it comes to mortgages, we've got deals so sweet, even Baxter the dog would bark in excitement. It is almost time, where we'll be reporting on homes hotter than San Diego's heatwave, and mortgages smoother than Brian Fantana's cologne. It's going to be one heck of a show, and you won't want to miss it, unless you enjoy a life of dullness and regret. See you there, my dear news enthusiasts. Ahoy there, fellow landlubbers. It's Ron Burgundy, the dashing newsman with a nose for great homes and even better mortgage deals. Welcome to the My Mortgage Hound YouTube live stream, where the excitement is as real as my perfectly coiffed hair. Now I know what you're thinking, Ron. What do you know about real estate? Well, my friends, let me tell you that I'm so good at finding dream homes that they call me the home whisperer. And as for mortgages, let's just say that Cody has more options than a dessert buffet at a squirrel convention. So grab your favorite scotch, sit back in your comfiest leather chair, and get ready for a real estate rodeo.
6 o'clock. Good morning, evening, afternoon, depending on where you're at. Week 4 of the live stream, My Mortgage Hound. Hey, if you're watching this and you're not watching it live, you're watching it recorded, go ahead and click the subscribe button and then the little bell alerts. That way you can always know when we go live. Last week and this week I've been doing 6 o'clock Pacific. I think I'm going to stick with that for a while. I'd like to get this moved to maybe a Saturday morning. Again, I remember going to the beach when I was a kid and watching the public broadcast, and there would always be a slideshow of homes for sale, of real estate for sale at the beach, and then the real estate agent's info, all the info on the homes. And I just really liked watching that. So that's kind of what we're going to do here, but we're doing it on YouTube, bringing it to the 21st century. So if you like what you see, please subscribe and set that alert button. All right. Hope you guys liked my Ron Burgundy. Always looking for new ideas if you guys have ideas for characters. But yeah, Ron Burgundy I thought was good. Thanks to Ryan McCracken for throwing that idea out. And we got a thumbs up on the sound. That's good. It's always... no matter how early I start preparing for the stream, I'm always sliding into home base. Something with the audio is not working, but we got the background music working now. Hopefully you guys can hear that okay. It's not too loud. Apologize for last week, the first 10 minutes of that live stream. The background music was so loud you couldn't hear me. So hopefully we got that straightened out. And also links in the description. I have links to all the agents that provided information for today's live stream. I have Gavin Huckins. We're going to view his data on Clark County. And we got 2 real estate agents I'm going to feature here in a minute. Before I do that, I want to dive into my go-to website for checking interest rates. This is Mortgage News Daily. There is a link in the description. They're not a sponsor or anything. They're just a website that I frequent throughout the day. It's got great stories on the feds, what's going on in the markets, and then it'll show a national average for interest rates for all programs. So let me see if I can make this a little bigger here. So unfortunately, we have seen rates tick up over the last week. We've seen the markets impact rates in the negative about 0.1%. So we've gone up to 7.2 on 30-year fixed. Jumbos are up to 7.23. Still really good time as far as jumbos compared to the difference in 30-year fixed conventional financing. Normally that margin is wider, but jumbo rates are right where conventional Fannie Franny rates are. FHA 6.92 and VA 6.95. So you can see a little bit of an uptick from last week. All right. So again, if this is your first time watching, I'm located in Vancouver. We're actually in Ridgefield, Washington, Southwest Washington. We cover both sides of the river. We have loan officers in our office all over the country. I'm going to show you guys some statistics that Gavin sends me each week. And this is specific for Clark County. However, I think this trend's pretty widespread throughout the country. Clark County is kind of a good beacon on what the trends are as far as transacting in real estate. So last week we saw an increase of 1%, 234 listings, so 1% increase week over week. That's not surprising. We should see this number flatten out as we get towards the start of the school year. Pending sales, so sales that have gone into contract but have not closed, 217, that's down 3%. We had a bigger close week last week. Again, I think that number is going to kind of start to ease off and decline as we get closer to the start of the school year. Listings sold 155, so we had 155 closings last week. That's down 22%. That number's a little surprising. Again, these numbers fluctuate week to week, but we are seeing activity slow down slightly. With that said, there are always people that are transacting in real estate, no matter what the market's doing. There are people retiring, moving up, moving down, moving into maybe assisted living, senior living. There's people graduating college, people downsizing because their kids are going to college. People are having babies. A big one is people are getting relocated. And we've seen a big increase in estate sales as well. So no matter what the market's doing, there's always going to be transactions that are going on. And personally, we're seeing a lot of those at the moment. And I think that as people transact their way out of the interest rates we saw in 20 and 21, first half of 22, I think that we'll see more listings come on the market and we'll start to see things start to normalize. Another statistic that Gavin sent me this week, this is lockbox activity. So every time a real estate agent shows a home, they open a lockbox and that sends a little signal. So this represents how many houses are being shown. In Washington, and I don't think Gavin's on here. If you are, Gavin, chime in. I think this is for the whole state of Washington. You can kind of see up 3.4%, but fairly flat this year, between 375 and looks like 600. Looks like we just crossed into 600. So lots of lockbox activity in Washington. Oregon down slightly, 5%, but you can see these two lines trend because we're right across the river from each other. For those of you not in the area, Southwest Washington is kind of a bedroom community to Portland, although we're seeing that change. The amount of companies that are moving to Vancouver, the amount of jobs that we have are definitely increasing over the last couple of years. Okay. Now what you've all been waiting for, I got two listings for us to review today. Let's take a look at the first one. I got a big one and a decent smaller one. Which one should we go for first? I think that we're gonna go big. I think we're gonna go big. Suzy and Kay sent me this house today. And the reason I'm featuring this house is because Ryan McCracken is another loan officer in my office. We've worked together for 7-8 years now, maybe longer. If he was on here, he could tell us. And he's doing an open house with Kay and Suzy this week. I got the times written down here. Saturday 11 to 2 and Sunday 12 to 3 is your chance to walk through this home here. So 21418 Northwest 11th Avenue. 10 years, Ryan is here. Thanks for taking a time out from pickleball to join us, Ryan. 10 years. Seems like just yesterday. All right, 21418 Northwest 11th Avenue here in Ridgefield. Ridgefield, let's see if I can show you on the map. If we look here. So the two main freeways in this area are I-5, of course, and then 205. And Ridgefield is just north, about 2 exits north of where the merger between I-5 and 205. This is where I personally live. It is one of the fastest growing, if not the fastest growing cities in the state of Washington. You still get that small small town feel. Where you get on a first name basis with the convenience store, the guy at the post office. But you are 20 minutes from downtown Portland via I-5 and 20 minutes or so from the airport on 205. So a great location. Really outdoorsy part of Southwest Washington. You can see the Columbia River is right next to Ridgefield. So is the Lewis River. And there's a boat launch about a 10-minute walk, about a 3-minute drive from the freeway. So really good outdoorsy area. There's a big wildlife refuge, and you're about 45 minutes from Mount St. Helens. So 1.85 on this listing. It's getting harder and harder to find acreage for sale in Ridgefield. This sits on 5 acres, built in 1991. Big house, 5560 square feet. $150 annual HOA. Again, open house this Saturday from 11 to 2, Sunday noon to 3. Ryan McCracken will be there, I believe, both days. Listed by Kay and Suzy. Their information, both email and phone number, is in the description on the email. Excuse me, not on the email. Just listed in the description for the channel. So feel free to reach out to them if you have any questions or if you want to stop by and take a look at the open house. It'd be great if you said you heard about the listing on this stream. All right, let's take a look at some pictures. Has a little bit of that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air entrance. I like it. You can tell there's a fireplace. We'll see if that's wood burning. It appears to be so. So there's your 5 acres with a beautiful tree fence made out of trees here. So really secluded. And Ryan, I did see your comment. Looks like there is a pool. Hopefully we'll get a closer look at that. Oh, right away. Man. So it looks like you got some changing rooms. Really park-like setting. Beautiful pool. Be great on a day like today. Nice entryway. That looks like a gas fireplace. Huge island in the kitchen. Got your dining room right around the corner, which is cool. Looks like hardwoods throughout the first level at least. Looks like you can actually see into the dining room, which is very cool. Almost looks like a mirror, but that is definitely a big window into the dining room. Very cool pantry. Let's see. Pantry is next to the refrigerator. It looks just like a cabinet. So kind of a hidden pantry or a panic room. Huge office. Yeah, that brings up a good point too. A lot of people, now that they're working from home, a lot of the jobs in Hillsboro at Nike and Intel, a lot of, I know here in my neighborhood in Richfield, I would say about half the neighborhood works from home, but they work in Oregon. Very cool stairway. So now we're into the master. A bathroom so big there's a bench, and it looks like a freestanding pool. Walk-in shower. Home gym. That looks like a guest bath with 2 sinks, so I wonder if it's considered a Jack and Jill. And it looks like all the bathrooms have double sinks. Okay, so it looks like we have a bonus room with a built-in bar. Room for a pool table. Back patio. Now we're down to the pool. Very cool. Beautiful. So this looks like one of the changing rooms by the pool. There's our Mount St. Helens. There's your layout. Okay. So here's a good example of what the market's doing. It was listed in September, last September, for $2 million. Actually listed for 2.18 in July and then dropped down to $2 million, and that came off the market, listed now a year later at 1.85. Take a look at property taxes in Richfield, $11,894. All right, let's dive into some numbers. So again, like the previous episodes, what we're going to do now is take a look at what you see now on your screen. This is called a total cost analysis. This is what I use in all my one-on-one consultations. So you're going to get a piece of that today. If you want to schedule one of these for yourself on a specific property, or if you just kind of want to see where you stand, there is also a link in the description to schedule a 15-minute phone call with myself. All right, let me make this a little bigger. So I built out 2 jumbo loan options. You can see here we got our purchase price at 1.85. This is with 20% down, would make your loan amount 1.48. Like we saw here on the Mortgage News Daily. We're using an interest rate of 7.2. Your experience may vary. That's not what my company's offering. That's, again, just the national average. If you want a quote for yourself, feel free to reach out to me. Again, that link is in the description. I'll go ahead and click on this more info link here. This brings us to a payment breakdown. I'm going to kind of go slow on this one so you guys can see the vocabulary, how this reads, and we'll speed up on the next house. So again, 1.8 is our purchase price. Principal and interest at that 7.2 would be $10,076. Property taxes, which we just looked at, work out to be $991 a month. Homeowners insurance is going to be around $100 a month, depending on which insurance company you choose, what coverages you elect. This is this protects your house in case of a fire or burglary or something of that nature. Mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance does nothing for you other than allows you to put less than 20% down. We're putting 20% down here, so we don't have to worry about mortgage insurance, but don't worry, we'll look at it on the next property. So if I add these three numbers together, I get a total payment of $11,167 a month. And this is where I ask, how does that number sit with you? And what I'm looking for is one of the following three answers that I will get. $11,000, no problem. That's lower than I was expecting. Or I might get, well, that's exactly what I calculated. Or I might get, there's no way I can do 11,000. I knew this has a big house and a big mortgage, but that was way more than I was expecting. And none of those answers are wrong. The whole point of this live stream and these consultations and meeting with your lender and your real estate agent in advance is to gain confidence of what you're doing. And being as transparent as possible with where you're at with these payments is crucial for the people helping you. So if that payment is scary, then we can play with it and see what we can do to get that payment down. Or maybe we need to go look at a house that will get you closer to your goal. There's also two numbers that we're considering, right? What you're pre-approved for. Just because someone's pre-approved for a $15,000 mortgage doesn't mean that that $15,000 mortgage fits their budget. Oftentimes, their comfort zone is well under what their pre-approval amount is. All right. There is the HOA, when you break it out, it's $13 a month. So now let's go ahead and look at our closing costs. $20% down would be $370,000. That's represented here in a loan-to-value percentage of 80%. Closing costs on this property are going to be around $46.91. I'm not going to break down all the individual fees, but a brief explanation of what is included in that number are your title and escrow fees, escrow and title insurance, making sure there's no liens against the house. That's the majority of that. You also have your county recording fees and your lender's fee. Our office charges $14.50 to do the loan. Your experience may vary. We don't charge a 1% origination fee, which is very common, and we don't charge any junk admin fees, just the flat $14.50. Not included in that is your home inspection, which is not required by your lender, not required by us, but we strongly encourage you to get one. I know Ryan, Suzy, and Kay would agree. Home inspection's there to let you know if there's anything major wrong with the house, but you also get a nice report with all minor things that maybe light bulbs are out or little things that you can fix once you have the house. Those run between, on this house, probably between $300 and $500, maybe a little bit more. Again, not required. Your home appraisal will most likely be required, especially on a jumbo loan. You're going to get an independent, non-biased value on the house. Those run about $800. All your other closing costs are included in that $46.91. Points. Interest rates don't change on a daily basis. Okay. But the cost of interest rates do. And when that cost changes significantly, either up or down, that's when you see lenders change the rates they're advertising. Interest rates, the cost of interest rates got more expensive over the last week. That's why you've seen interest rates tick up a little bit. That cost is referred to as points. You can choose to pay more points to have a lower interest rate. In these examples, if you look at the fine print on Mortgage News Daily, these do not have any points built in. On one of our future episodes, we'll do a deep dive into points, but for today, we're looking at no points. Prepaid taxes and insurance and interest. 3 items are included in this $9,000. The first is the prorated interest for the month we close in. So if we were to close on the 15th of the month, there'd roughly be 15 days remaining. So if we closed on August 15th, there'd be 15 days remaining. We collect those 15 days up front. Then your first payment's not going to be due until October. It's hard to say October when it's 90 degrees outside, but your first payment's not going to be due until October. You will not make a September payment. Your mortgage payments are always paid in the arrears. So when you make your when you make your October payment, that covers September, and the rest of August is collected here. The second item is your first year of homeowners insurance premium. We're going to collect that up front and pay it to the insurance company so that your insurance is paid for the first year. And the third item is we're going to collect X amount of months worth of property taxes and homeowners insurance. We're going to deposit those funds into an escrow impound account. Then every month when you make your payment, the property tax portion and the homeowner's insurance portion will be added to that account. That way there's enough funds to pay those bills when they're due. In Clark County, property taxes are due in April and October, and homeowners insurance every 12 months. So if we add these 3 numbers together, we get a total out-of-pocket expense of $383,691. How does that number sit with you? Same question. Let's say you are a first-time home buyer or maybe your first move-up home buyer. That may seem like a ton of money, and it is. But this will be used someday. Once you've built up this equity in your house and you're looking to move up to a bigger house or a more expensive house, the days of you coming in with as little as possible, now you've built up the equity and you can come in and put $383,000 down. All right. Let me move myself out of the way. We'll take a look at, let's say I built up a ton of equity, I have an inheritance or something happens and I've been diligent saver and I want to put more down. And this goes back to that question, how does $11,000 sit with you? That's a little uncomfortable for me. If I get that answer, then maybe we have a sale of a home we're doing and we want to roll more of those proceeds over. So let's look at $700,000 down. Again, we have our purchase price at 1.85 with 700 down. That makes us 1.15. Interest rate remains the same. Summary of those 2 screens we just reviewed. Our payment drops $22.46 down to $89.33. So by putting an extra $400,000 down, we save $22.50 a month. Our cash to close goes to $713,000. So this gives you a range on that property. Most people are going to fall somewhere in between those 2 numbers. A rough formula I like to use, and I give it to all my clients, for every $10,000 in purchase price or loan amount, it's going to equate to roughly $60 a month. Now we can always run an exact scenario for you, but just for doing quick calculations, for every $10,000 more or less I put down, I can expect it to impact my payment $60 a month or $600 for every $100,000. So that's 5 acres in Richfield. Very cool. Ryan, you're going to have a good time at the open house. I think there's going to be a lot of people that want to see inside that one. Okay, you guys ready for house number 2? This listing was sent over by Krista McCracken. She'll be hosting an open house. Let's see if it says. I know she's doing one this week. Saturday, August 5th from noon to 2. I don't know if Ryan can be in 2 places at the same time, but you might see Ryan at this one too. I'm not sure. $760,000, address 1541 North 4th Court in Washougal. So kind of on the kitty corner end. Sorry, I keep moving our screen here. Kitty corner end of Clark County from Richfield. We're down here on the river. Washougal's very up and coming. Camas used to be Washougal. Now Camas is really grown. And so have the home values. We keep expanding, Clark County does, further east and further north. So Washougal is kind of a booming area right now. Again, small town feel. Old paper mill is there. Very cool very cool town. And you're right at the doors of the Columbia River Gorge. So if you don't know, if you're planning a trip out here to home shop or visit family and you've never been up the gorge, take Highway 14 and do a drive up the gorge. One of the most beautiful places in the country. Okay, so at $760,000, this is really targeting your move-up buyers. Maybe somebody that just had kids, want to get in a good school district, need a little more square footage at $2,656. It's time to get out of that 1,200 square foot starter home and get into a move-up home. This is the house right here. I'm going to move myself again. I can't keep seeing to be in the way. Go up here. Interesting. The listing agent put right on here, first thing in the description, clean inspection report. So we talked about home inspections a little bit. It is not uncommon for a seller to go ahead and get a home inspection before they even put the home on the market. That way they know if there's anything they need to repair on the house. So that's already done, so you guys could have access to that. And like I said, this description is very smart. Here's your chance to get in the cannabis community and school district while enjoying lower Washougal taxes. So, and you'll see that when we go through this. The property taxes are much more affordable in this home compared to Camas, but you still are right on that border of Camas. All right, picture time. So looks like no houses directly to the side of you, which is nice. Yeah, you do have a little green space to the side of you. There's a flag lot behind you. Kind of up on a hill. Cul-de-sac. Perfect for, like we said, we're having kids, we want a little cul-de-sac for them to grow up in and play with the neighbor kids. Perfect. So you can see the Columbia River there in the backdrop. Drone view. Covered patio. Okay, here's your entryway. Nice flooring. Built-in entertainment center and fireplace. Nice column. We'll go back and look to see when this home was built. Looks like a fairly recent build. Awesome, great room. Very clean. Nice view out of the slider on the deck there. So we got 4 beds, 3 baths, laundry room on the second level. This looks like a guest bath upstairs. 2 sinks again, double sinks in the guest bath. Pretty nice. Kind of that Jack and Jill, again, targeting people with kids. Nice view from the master. Cool French doors. Nice and big bathroom. Nice patio out the kitchen. All right. When was this house built? 2017. That was kind of right when trends started going towards white cabinets and very fresh, clean white on the inside. Okay, so again, open house this Saturday, 12 to 2. Krista McCracken will be hosting the open house. If you stop by, mention that you saw it on our live stream. Her contact information is in the description. So let's take a look at Washougal property taxes. $5,903. I think you could add about 20% if you were in canvas to that. Maybe a little more. All right. We're going to go through this one a little bit faster. We're going to start with FHA. FHA loans are not just for first-time home buyers. They're for anybody needing to get into a house with a smaller down payment. Maybe you're newer in your career, you have higher debt-to-income ratios, maybe not the best credit in the world. FHA is designed for you. FHA requires 3.5% down. So you'd be looking at a loan amount of $746,234. Interest rate, if we go back to the Mortgage News Daily, we're looking at 6.92. Quickly go through the payment here. Principal and interest, $49.24. Property taxes, $491. Homeowners insurance, somewhere between $50 and $100 a month. We're using $75 a month in this example. Mortgage insurance. Okay. Alluded to this a little bit on our last listing. Mortgage insurance on FHA does nothing for you other than allows you to put less than 20% down. If you have, let's say we have a homeowner with a home with a mortgage with mortgage insurance, and they default, stop making payments, and go into foreclosure. The mortgage insurance company reimburses the lender a percentage of that balance. That way it removes a level of risk for a lender to lend to somebody with less collateral, with less than 20% down. On FHA, you have that mortgage insurance for the life of the loan. If you're doing a non-FHA, then that mortgage insurance has the option of possibly dropping off at some point. And I'll do a whole stream on that down the road. The only way to get rid of this mortgage insurance on FHA is to refinance. Using that formula of $60 a month for every $10,000, we're looking at about $50,000 in buying power. $50,000, $60,000 is what that mortgage insurance is taking away. But what it does, it allows you to bring in a lot less down. So when I ask, how does this payment sit with you, $57.94, that's what I want to know, is where are we at? If we need to get into a good school district, maybe we're fresh out of college and new in our careers, we don't have a huge down payment saved up, but we have kids, we need to get in a good school district, FHA might just be the way to go. Cash to close in this example, $36,291, and that includes upfront mortgage insurance. So FHA has two forms of mortgage insurance. The second is the upfront premium that they add to your loan amount. So you're not coming in with it out of pocket. It's being financed in, which for the mathematicians in the room is why our loan to value ratio is 98.19, even though we're putting 3.5% down. So when we add all of our closing costs and prepaids and everything together, we get a total of $36,291. Okay, so let's say we sold our 1,200 square foot starter home, and I got a little bit more to put down now, but not quite 20%. One option I'm a big fan of is buying out our mortgage insurance policy. So let's look at this payment. So 10% down, our loan amount is $684, interest rate 7.2. No mortgage insurance. But we're putting less than 20% down, so how are we getting away with no mortgage insurance? Go to our closing costs. There's our 10% down. Instead of paying mortgage insurance monthly, we're going to buy it out in one lump sum, out of pocket, up front. $41.72. So not a lot of money to pay up front to not have to pay that mortgage insurance. Maybe it's only $150 a month. In fact, let's just do the math. $41.72 divided by, let's say, mortgage insurance monthly would be $150 a month, 31 months. So month 32, I'm in the black. I'm doing good. It was a good decision. Interest rates may come down. We may refinance in 18 to 36 months. Or we might be looking back and going, man, I'm glad that I got it at 7.2. So I think that buying out the mortgage insurance, you always have to do the math. The math doesn't lie. In this circumstance, it's very compelling to buy out that mortgage insurance. So my total cash to close ends up being just shy of $90,000. Total payment, $52.08. Okay, one more. VA. VA requires 0 down. Interest rate 6.95. Click on the more info. Payment breakdown $51.46. Principal and interest brings my total payment to $57.12. So a little less than FHA. Even though I'm financing more, I do not have the monthly mortgage insurance on VA. Huge benefit. VA does have a upfront funding fee. In this circumstance, it's 17 grand. Just like FHA, that gets added to your loan amount. Total out-of-pocket expense, $96.91. We could ask the sellers to pay that for us. We could be buying a $700,000 house, $0 out of pocket. So I hope this helps you guys out. We're at the 43-minute mark. If you know any real estate agents that want to feature their listings on the stream, please put them in contact with me. My information's in the description. I think 3 houses is the right number to do in an hour. I try to do a variance of houses. Last week we did a beach house. Got very excited about that one. I'm going to try to get more listings out on the coast, out in the mountains, maybe some ski resorts, homes close to a ski resort. Maybe some downtown Portland condos, maybe some homes in Texas. Our loan officer down there, Joe New, wants to send some homes for me. So there you go. Hope this helps you guys out. This is new, so if you guys want to see anything different, if you don't like something in the live stream, or you want to see a different format, put your comments below. I will read those and make changes based off of what people want. Have fun open house shopping this weekend. Go say hi to Ryan, Krista, Kay, and Suzy. Gavin, thanks for sending the data as always. Go out and enjoy the rest of your summer. Hopefully you're barbecuing on your back patio. If you don't have a back patio, both those homes had nice back patios. All right, guys. See you next week.